I'd like to say something about dreadful uniforms that we wore when we were in our first 6 months there. They were brown cotton uniforms of funny colour, and people mistook us for the cleaners when we went over into the wards. We hated them. So we were either in these awful brown uniforms or in gym tunics with long black stockings. Miss Gotts wasn't there my first 6 months or so. She was in Britain, and Miss Service was in charge of us at that stage. They are two entirely different people, and Miss Service was incredibly erect and prided herself on her posture and how she looked. She was a very attractive woman, a sweet nature, but she could be really tough. Gotts, we were in fear and trembling when she first came back, but I got to know her as a staff member, and she was an entirely different person from the person we knew as students, far more approachable. She used to smoke cigarettes with a great big long cigarette holder. She had I think it was jade or I can't remember, carved beautifully, very elaborate one that she used to use at parties. Because we weren't allowed any nicotine on our fingers, we would have been failed. So a lot of the students started smoking in their first year, but after they'd been treating a lot of bronchiectatics and lung conditions, many of them knocked off again by the third year. The characters around, we had two teachers that were in training who later, they were doing a preliminary year before they went over to King's to do their teachers' training in London. They more or less taught from the books, straight from the book. They came back marvellous tutors, and one of them has gone on. I think she was head of West Australian Physiotherapy School, but it was a variable teaching. We had people from the med school took us for our physiology, anatomy, physiology and pathology, and they varied. Beau Fitzgerald, who later became a gynecologist, missed out the chapter on reproduction in our physiology book because he was too embarrassed to teach us, and he went on to become a specialist in gynecology. I always remembered that. In those days at the school, we were treated very much like technicians, and so everybody had to go through one of the clinics and see either an orthopaedic surgeon or a phys med person before they came on to treatment full time, and they told us what to do. So although we were taught how to diagnose these things, we were told what to do, and even down to the treatments and so forth. One orthopaedic surgeon, won't forgive him for this, we sent a woman in to see him, and he sent her back and said, "Well, not examine until patient has received further hygienic treatment. In the meantime, continue with heat and massage." We'd take a deep breath outside the cubicle and rush in, get it over as quickly as possible and dash out again. But very much